Sorry, Gary. I didn't know if you were going to take over that. I got real nervous. I'm a little nervous now.
Would you lose, Paul? Wait, did I take it? I don't think I did. No, I didn't.
Welcome everyone to this snowy, oh no, the snow stopped. Okay, well that's the first time today. Welcome to our Midvale City Council regular meeting, March 18th, 2025. We had a lively workshop discussion today, and we are happy to be in council chambers to start our general business meeting. So we'll start, as we always do, with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you'll stand with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone, for that. And Rory, will you see who's here?
Yes, Councilmember Robinson. Here. Mikalash. Here. Brown.
Here.
Billings. Here. And Glover.
Here.
Okay, that is all of us. We are missing our city manager, who might be here somewhere eventually. First up, we have Chief April Morse for a Unified Police Department report. Chief Morse.
Hi, Council. Thank you for allowing me to come up and fill you in on what's going on at UPD. So I wanted to just kind of go back and give you a sense of what February was like for our folks working out of Midvale Precinct. We had a very busy month. We had over, it was 2,018 calls for service that our officers responded on, which resulted in 650 cases being generated, of which there were 25 booking arrests. Our drug enforcement unit, they were working nonstop. They actually prepared and investigated, were able to obtain 5 different search warrants in 1 month, which is quite a lot. We evaluate everything on a threat matrix, and these were of such a threat and such risk that we had to use our UPD SWAT team to serve 4 out of the 5, which they were able to come out and do for us. In total, that unit recovered 17 firearms, 4 pounds of fentanyl, 12 ounces of meth, 164 grams of heroin, 27 grams of cocaine, and 15 grams of crack cocaine in 1 month's work. So they did an incredible job. In addition to all that work that was going on, we also responded on a bomb threat and a structure fire. So February was quite a month for us. Unless anybody has any questions, that's my report for February.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Sorry, we're scrambling up here. Next up, we have one of our favorite moments of the year. Once a year, we get graced by the presence of the Arts Council for their annual update. No pressure, Wade.
Wow. Well,
Good to see you.
good to be here. It is a lot of pressure, though, to be sandwiched between first responder reports. We don't provide as critical a service as they do, but we do think we add value. So, do we have the presentation? I think, Nate, did we get the presentation
The
to?
presentation, Juan put it in there, it should be in there.
Anyway, while he's pulling that up, I'm Wade Walker. I'm chairman and president of the Midvale Arts Council. Happy to be here reporting on our Arts Council activities in the city over the past year. We've got other board members here as well. Stephanie Johnson, Brian Brown is on our board, and then our arts administrator, Lauren Richards. You'll see a beautiful picture of her in a second, her glamour shot.
Wade, and we should recognize Nate as well as
And yeah, and so I wanted to, first of all, express appreciation to the city for their support of the arts and hope that we're contributing to that. And one of the ways that the city supports us is, first of all, Bryant's on our, Councilmember Brown's on our board, and then Nate Rockwood attends almost all of our board meetings and keeps us apprised of city issues and vice versa, and we've really appreciated that level of communication. So as a bit of history, the Midvale Arts Council was created back in 1985 as a volunteer organization under the city umbrella and operated that way until 2012 when we became a 501c3 independent nonprofit organization. And at that same time, the City Council adopted a resolution recognizing the Midvale Arts Council as the official arts council or arts organization of Midvale City. And so we've continued to operate that way for the past 14, 15 years. So. We'll see, we're an arts organization, not a technology organization, so. Of course, there was a similar problem in the workshop in there, so, we'll see if it gets resolved, but,
Well, since you are the Arts Council, if you guys want to sing or
yeah.
do a
well,
one-person show or a three-person show?
no.
Okay, never mind.
Stephanie? Come on, Stephanie, you're not gonna throw away your shot. Well, highlights, is it there, Nate? Do you? 20 seconds, all right. So if we were getting ready to perform a show, that's when the stage manager would say 20 seconds, we'd say, thank you, 20, getting ready to go on. So we did want to present some of our highlights from this past year of what we've tried to accomplish here in the city, as well as our outlook for this coming year too. And I think that most of you have heard one of our reports before. I know you haven't probably, Denise, so we look forward to having you. Oh, look at that. Look at how beautiful that.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So one of our highlights is our arts administrator, Lauren Richards. Lauren is here with us, and she is a part-time employee of the Arts Council. She's the only paid employee of the Arts Council. She's a Midvale resident. She was already involved in several activities before, and so it's a natural fit to have her as our arts administrator. She's done a tremendous job and jumped right into things this year, which has really helped ease the load on the board. And believe me, a couple of the board members are kind of tired. I've been on the board for 30 years, and Stephanie's been on the board for 25 years. And so we really appreciate Lauren being here and picking up a lot of the work. Some of the events that we've hosted this past year are Free Concert Fridays, our summer events. These are done every Friday night throughout the summer. This past year we had 9 concerts, 124 artists, with over 2,800 people attend. And those are always free of charge there in the city park and are a great activity. We also do 3 theater productions a year. This past year we tried something different. In February we tried to do movie month, free movie month. Wasn't as successful as we hoped, but we still had 120 people attend over the course of the month. We also did 2 theater productions, Mary Poppins Jr. and a Sondheim Review. And in those 2 productions, we had over 50 performers, over 750 attendees. And for our theater production, we offer low-cost tickets. We give Midvale residents a discount. We also have one night that is a pay-as-you-may night, where people can pay whatever they want or nothing at all as part of our efforts to make the arts accessible to everyone in the community. We also sponsor the Hall of Honors ceremony each year, and this past year we inducted Hal Hell. He was Hillcrest High School's first student body president and their first athlete to go pro in basketball. And he taught and coached at Jordan High School for over 30 years, and he still lives in his childhood home on State Street here in Midvale. So he's a longtime resident and a valued asset of the community. We also host an annual visual and literary art contest in conjunction with Harvest Days. In our visual art contest, we had 25 plus local artists. There's our best of show winner there, Midvale resident. We had 68 entries, over 150 attendees. And this year, a little girl, age 4, won the People's Choice Award. She entered just some homemade artwork, but then she invited all of her family and friends to come to the art show and vote for her art piece. And they showed up and they voted, and it was very cute. She was so excited to win the People's Choice Award. Our literary art contest, it's our 4th year. We have growing participation in that with 17 participants. It's kind of a 1-week thing where we give prompts the week before, and they create a flash fiction story or poetry surrounding those prompts. We're also very involved in the Main Street Business Alliance. Lauren has been participating in that alliance, and we participate in various events in Midvale, including the Christmas tree lighting. And one of the highlights for the Midvale Performing Arts Center, in early 2025 this year is we got new carpet, thanks to Public Works and the city, and it looks great, and we really appreciate the city's ongoing support and maintenance of the building. One of our projects for 2025 is hopefully to get a marquee on the property there that would bookend the ends of Main Street with the Midvale City marquee here and one on that in the front of our property there at the Midvale Performing Arts Center. So kind of bookending that historic section of Main Street. We continue to look for ways to increase our visibility in the community. The city's always been good about cross-posting our social media posts on the city's social media pages and including our events in the Midvale Journal, and we really appreciate that. As I mentioned, we appreciate the funding that we get from Midvale City. The city is our main source of funding. We also get funding from the Zoo Arts and Parks Program, the Utah Division of Arts and Museums, and downstream from the National Endowment for the Arts. We'll continue to offer the same offerings we did last year with our free summer concert series, our theater productions, visual and literary art contests, and our Hall of Honors. We'll continue to be involved with the Main Street Business Alliance. With Lauren on board, we're able to attend those meetings and activities and be much more involved. And we hope to increase our involvement further. We've talked about doing a sidewalk chalk art festival in conjunction with the mural festival and doing something along those lines that I think would be a lot of fun and allow us to be involved in those activities on Main Street as well. We have continuing partnerships with a few organizations that rent the building, Titus Productions, the West Jordan Arts, and Quick Wits, and then Quick Wits also sponsors the Wasatch Improv Festival each year. West Jordan is hoping to have their own performing arts facility later this year, and so that partnership will probably end in the near future. And Quick Wits has been performing in other venues and using our facility less than they were. So we are currently looking for additional long-term partners to add to utilize the Midvale Performing Arts Center to its fullest. A couple of shout outs to end. We do appreciate Public Works very much for their support and their attention to our requests in the facilities request portal. We appreciate the support of the IT department. We really hope to get better internet connectivity over there at the Midvale Performing Arts Center. That's one of our struggles right now over there. And then finally, we've added one new board member, Brian Abel, to our board, but we're always looking to add more. So if any of you have any people in your districts, any individuals that are interested in serving on the Arts Council, please let us know. And we are happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Any questions for Wade?
Do you know what show you're going to do this year?
So we just
Is there a lot of
finished Little Mermaid in the spring. So that was earlier this month. We're doing Peter and the Starcatchers this summer, and then our fall show is going to be Beetlejuice Jr., a youth production. We try to do one youth production a year to involve the youth, and those are a lot of fun. They generate a lot of interest and a lot of excitement. So.
Thank you.
Most people don't know this, but Councilmember Billings is a Broadway aficionado. So
Indeed.
you could probably get her on stage to
Oh,
perform.
no.
Well,
Watch it.
well, that's good to know.
Same.
We'll have to talk about that. Yeah, my office at work is adorned with a lot of Broadway show posters. That's one of our favorite spots to go.
Nice.
So.
Any other questions for Wade or the Arts Council?
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you
Okay.
for all you do.
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we have a very special award recognition. As you know, earlier this year, was it this year or was it late last year? Late last year, right? The Palisades fire that devastated a lot of Southern California. So we had firefighters here in Midvale and across Salt Lake County who very bravely went to help fight that fire, and we thought the least we could do is recognize them for their efforts here tonight. There's an old joke about firefighting that firefighters are the only ones who run into a burning building while everyone else is running out of it. So these firefighters, not only did they do that, they ran to an entire state that was on fire. And as we know from the news reports we saw, the California firefighters could not do this themselves. So there were literally firefighters from all over the country helping. And one of the important things, as I was educating some of our residents who said, well, why are we sending our firefighters? We need firefighters here. What if there's a huge structure fire? So the firefighters could speak to this better if they wanted to, but generally, just going there, getting that valuable experience. As we know, Utah is very prone to wildfires ourselves, so there's the mutual aid aspect of it. There's also very much a training component of it, so that we're all going to knock wood on three, that when, hopefully it never happens here, but if it were to happen, then, those same firefighters from California would be more likely to come here and help us as well. So definitely a huge benefit to the training, to the mutual aid, but also just, we want to recognize the folks who made this brave decision. And I'm sure, as I've gotten to know some of our first responders, probably wasn't much of a decision at all. It was, you wanted to go, and you wanted to go as soon as possible. So we appreciate that. We have a couple of just tokens of our appreciation, and we would like to call up two of the firefighters. Captain Paul Story, come on up. If you'd come up to the podium. We won't ask you to give a speech unless you want to. It's your time. And also firefighter Kelly Bird is here as well. So I'm going to come down. We have, as I said, just some tokens of our appreciation. And sorry, I'm very cold today, so I'm going to keep my jacket on. One thing we like to do, we have these nifty, can everyone hear me? We have these nifty Midvale City pins, and they're a token of our appreciation for all you do for Midvale. And also Firefighter Bird, thank you so much. Here's your pin, and thank you so much. And if you don't mind, if we could get a picture with the council, maybe out in the lobby. Is that our new thing? Do the lobby? Okay. And thank you again, we appreciate it. Let's give them a round of applause. Okay, good.
I think you covered everything that we were going to say anyway.
Did I say anything out of line?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Very
All right.
succinctly.
We'll be back in 2 or 3 minutes, so stay tuned. That was as vague as possible. Oh, absolutely. If you want to be photographed? Okay, moving on, another exciting item that is not on the agenda, but one that's important nonetheless. We had another birthday amongst us up here. And might have been mine too, but more importantly, Councilmember Billings had a nice, important milestone birthday. If she wants to tell you what that is, that's up to her.
21.
21, forever.
Youngest ever council member.
But for those of you who weren't here last time, we did something special for Councilman Brown for his milestone birthday as well. And this is not going to be a constant thing. It's for milestone birthdays. So I think Matt Pierce has a little surprise for you. This could go sour very quickly.
You didn't council for a milestone.
I missed that one. Are you kidding me?
Hello, Bonnie. This is Jeremy Jordan here. Mayor Dustin Gettle has asked me to send you this greeting for your 40th birthday. Sorry. 40th birthday. I beat you because I just turned 40 in November, so you'll always be younger than me. Happy birthday. I hope you have an incredible day and rest of your month, let's be honest, and surround yourself with family and friends who all celebrate you as you rightfully deserve. 40 is a big one, and I hope you take some time to celebrate yourself as well. I just wanted to say, obviously, as a Bonnie from a former Clyde, you are obviously extra special, and this birthday is extra special because I've been thinking about my virgin for Bonnie Clyde reference, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm in my overalls because I'm in rehearsal for my next show where I play a cave diver in 1920s. So, that's how we roll. But I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. I hope you have an incredible one, and get excited for your 40s. I'm still working on that part. And hopefully you also get some delicious birthday cake. And sending an extra love to your cute little black cat named Winnie, which is also a great name based on a character that I played on Supergirl. So we're pretty connected, I'm just saying. We're basically best friends. Anyways, I just wanted to send you all my love on your birthday. Have a wonderful birthday, and bye.
Councilmember Billings.
Thank you so much. That is needed. I've been running ragged in my day job, and so that actually made me feel like I actually recognize my birthday. So that's really great. I get to keep that, right?
Oh yeah, I will send you the link.
Thank
So
you.
you can have that forever. But yeah, he went above and beyond. It did not go on for another 15 minutes, but we probably would have sat here captivated if it did. So happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving right along to public comments. Any person wishing to comment on any item not otherwise scheduled for public hearing on the agenda may address the city council at this point by stepping up to the microphone. Is there anyone here wishing to give public comment? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to council reports and the aforementioned Councilmember Billings.
Well, thanks again. We did get to eat some cake today, so that was delicious. I did just want to recognize our Public Works Department this morning. Driving through town, going to work, Midvale's roads were really great, so thank you.
Thank you.
For our first snowstorm of the season. Right?
Yeah, definitely the biggest one, I think. Councilmember Paul Glover.
Just want to say happy birthday, Bonnie. I want you to know that 40 is really young. It is all in perspective. I'd also like to, I'm enjoying looking at the new plazas we've got coming. They look good. It will be nice when spring hits so that we can actually get out there. Other than that, that's it.
Okay, thank you. And amazingly, spring is Thursday. Doesn't seem like it, but Councilmember Bryant Brown.
First, I'd like
Oh, sorry, Heidi.
what?
Well, you went right on with that. I said Councilmember Brown, but ladies first. Councilmember Heidi Robinson.
I'm next, right?
Yes. That was totally my
Wait a
bad.
minute.
That was all me.
Do I not know how to read my name? Okay, back on track. I wanted to say happy birthday to all of those up here that had birthdays in this last little bit. I feel like we've had our fair share of cake celebrations. I too am enjoying everything that's coming online, especially on Main Street right now. if I remember correctly, we are having the lighting ceremony this Friday.
Friday, yep.
So if you can swing out, check out Midvale. The lights are going to be on. They're amazing. They add so much to what's happening there. So I really hope people get out and walk up and down the road and check them out. I too would like to thank Public Works. I won't throw any other cities' names out there, but I noticed a notable difference when I hit some other cities' friends of ours. And that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Robinson. And Councilmember Brown.
I would also like to wish Bonnie a happy 40th birthday, since, he yelled it so much, I felt like I should as well.
He did go on.
I think you did that.
I took up a lot of time in our workshop, so I'll try to be brief here, which probably never works anyways. I just wanted to echo a lot what the Arts Council said. I don't think it's recognized, Wade mentioned it, that there's one paid person on the Arts Council, the rest is volunteer, right? So if you think of all that work to organize the movies, the shows, I get really emotional with the Arts Council, so I'm trying to not. I just really appreciate what they do for us, and I think we, myself included, need to be better at attending and seeing, because they put a lot of, I'm definitely the weakest link on the Arts Council. In fact, I almost want to remove my name from that list because they do such a good job, and I just, probably similar to the meeting today, I'm like this naysayer that's worried about everything all the time. So when you see them, there's other volunteers. We have a couple other people on the board, that aren't here. Just, it's such an important part of our community, and I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for Wade and Stephanie, and oh my goodness, I just forgot your name. Lauren. Sorry, I'm up here, I get nervous. And
No, you don't.
and the good thing is, Nate, I called Wade out because I feel like since Nate's been active, it's helped just exponentially. And he never misses. He's here all the time on Tuesdays, with us, and he even does the, sometimes Arts Council meetings go later, and I'm calling in because I'm busy, and so really appreciate Nate for his help on that. So Arts Council's great. I want to continue to support them and want them to know I personally support you guys as well. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Brown. And last but not least, Councilmember Denise Mikalash.
Thank you, Mayor. Last week, we were hosted by UPD to go visit their Mill Creek office and also get an overview of their services and structure. And I have to say that was so informative and helpful, especially as we went into the budget. We also got to celebrate the mayor's birthday at the same time, which was very exciting. Also listened in on the Planning Commission. Some of my residents had some questions and issues that came up. And Wendelin, I want to say thank you so much for answering all my questions. Being new to this, I'm like, what's going on? What's the background? So helpful. Thank you to everyone that's been very supportive. And that's it.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Mikalash. For my report, just a couple of things. First and foremost, sitting in the back of the room, 12 o'clock from me, is one of our favorites, Cody Hill. And for those of you who haven't heard the news, Cody Hill is dead to us. No. Cody has accepted a position in, do you want to shout out the city so that everyone can boo? Provo. Oh, okay. No, Provo is a wonderful, wonderful city. And we wish you all the best success there. We know you'll do a wonderful job, and we know that eventually you'll miss Midvale and you'll come back to us and we will welcome you with open arms. So thank you for all you've done over the past 5 years, Cody, with you and the RDA staff, and Nate, and Matt, and Elizabeth, and Vendeline. Main Street wouldn't be what it is today and wouldn't be what it's going to be in the future without you. So you're welcome back here anytime. Thank you. And he is looking down. I think he wants this to end 30 seconds ago. Thank you. Also, real quick, couple of things. So last Thursday, Matt Dahl and I met with a dignitary, the Mexican consulate, Eduardo Baca, and a very informative conversation with him and his staff, precisely what they do and what they can do for our Spanish-speaking community here in Midvale. And in fact, when I posted on social media about the meeting, someone reached out to me who was looking to get Mexican citizenship for her daughter, and they're helping her with that already. So very pleased to see that partnership has already hopefully helped at least one of our residents. And I just wanted to put that plug out there for anyone else who might have issues surrounding passport renewal, passport initiation, immigration, any of that sort of thing. Obviously, feel free to reach out to us at the city, but the Mexican consulate is also a resource as well. We do have the UPD budget meeting on Thursday. So Thursday, I'll be running around everywhere because we have our budget conference. It's not a retreat. We will finally find out what the proposed numbers are from UPD. We'll have a better sense of how that's going to impact our budget by the next council meeting, which happens to be April 1st. I promise I will not do any April Fool's jokes about the UPD budget. Other than that, I know I'm forgetting something, but we are well past time. And City Manager Matt Dahl said to skip his report. He's out helping a resident right now. But yes, so we'll move on then to the consent agenda. Consider minutes of March 4th, 2025.
Mayor, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Rory, will you call the roll?
Yes, Councilmember Billings.
Yes.
Glover.
Aye.
Robinson. Aye. Brown.
Yes.
And Mikuláš.
Yes.
Okay, passes unanimously. So we have a few action items today, and the first one, consider ordinance number 2025-004, authorizing a zone map amendment for approximately 1.67 acres located at 58 West, 7500 South, and 7444 South State Street, parcel numbers 22-30-301-012, 21-25-427-047, 21-25-427-009. Yes, I do have to read all of these. 21-25-427-036, from single-family residential 1 and State Street commercial to multifamily residential medium to high density. And with that, Elizabeth Arnold, senior planner.
Thank you. Yes, I try to be as thorough as possible, but as succinct as possible. So I
That's
hope you
thorough.
won't mind that I've combined my two items, this one and the next one after, into just one presentation, so you'll have to hear from me less. But as a recap, this project did come before the City Council last September 2024 and was tabled. Action was tabled on the project pending a development agreement that come forth to discuss some issues and concerns that were raised. So I thought I'd just quickly go through what the development agreement addresses in regards to concerns. So one of them, the small scale master plan, will obviously be approved. That will nail in further site details. One of the concerns is about limited building height on that west property line that abuts most of the single family that remains. So they will install also, so limited height, the RM25 would normally be 50 feet and 35 feet in height, and they've done an additional, any structures within 60 feet are now limited to 33 feet in height. So a little bit further, a little bit smaller. Additionally, they'll also be planting a landscape buffer along that west property line, and there were some specifics in the development agreement as to caliper for trees, how close to the property line, but to ensure that that they'll be able to grow into a nice buffer between this project and the single-family community. And then additionally, where you'll kind of see, there are those two properties on the south and where that line would kind of cut off that very thin access to 7,500. There will also be a landscape buffer there to prevent any access from the project to 75 and down past those single-family homes. Additionally, the project will be subdivided into individual units to allow for ownership, and that was stipulated in the development agreement. So for this first item for zone map amendments, we have the same criteria that we normally see that a project should meet. Staff finds that this does meet. One, that it, provides for needs and complies with the general plan, and then that if the surrounding environs and areas changed, then we should encourage redevelopment on the property. So I've included a recommended motion here, and then unless you have any questions, a motion for the resolution as well.
Okay, any questions for Elizabeth? And I do see the developers as well, if there's any clarifying questions from council.
I spent quite a bit of time with the developer, going over the concerns of the neighborhood, and glad to report that they worked on pretty much everything that was a concern. I mean, anytime we have a development, there's people that don't want it. But I think I've talked to several of the people in the community, right, that live next to them, and I think they've pretty much addressed everything that were the major concerns. They've been easy to work with and taken my suggestions and the suggestions of our neighborhood that live there. So I feel like they've done what we asked them to do. I really think that we'll get a really good project and it'll be helpful to Midvale.
Anyone
This is
else?
my district.
Sounds good, if, you know.
I do have one question. As far as there was an entry point to the other home, how did we resolve that situation?
And can you state your name for the
Yeah.
record?
I'm John Semnani with Signature Homes, offices 630 East South Temple. Are you talking about the easement 7500?
Yes.
Okay, so that easement, it's in the development agreement. There's going to be a landscaped pedestrian block there. And
Okay.
in the small scale master plan concept that we've proposed, it's trees about yay high. And yeah, so, and then also that property is unusable for our project anyway, aside from utilities. So yeah, nobody will be going through there.
So people will or will not be able to walk through it?
They will not.
Okay, I didn't know if you had them low so people could,
No.
Okay.
Yeah, they won't.
And I guess the other thing is we talked about, but the gentleman that owns the home there, that was a concern for several people,
Yes.
When it's landlocked,
Yes.
right?
the landlocked one, basically.
Yeah, Mr. Peters, Mr. Dan
So,
Peters, yeah.
Did
And
you
I've been working with him.
Okay, and you said you tell me
Sure.
what's gonna go on there.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't something he really asked for, but I think eventually when the project, if we get to the point of getting certificate of occupancy on the project, on all the units, and we're said and done, then for us, it's beneficial for us because we don't have to incorporate it into our CCRs and HOA, and nobody really has to or we wouldn't want to maintain it, and Dan, I think, wants it, and so we'd be fine with splitting that piece off and deeding it to him. Is that what you were
Yes, that's what I
referring to?
wanted to.
Yes,
Publicly,
for sure. Yeah,
you were saying that you were working on doing that.
of course, yeah.
And I wasn't here in September, but I met
Yes.
with John yesterday, and he brought me up to speed, explained the concerns, went through how he resolved it, so we had a really good conversation, so
Yeah.
thank you.
Pleasure meeting you, thank you.
You too.
I also want to thank you for taking the time to try to address all of our concerns. I know
Yeah.
it can be really hard to juggle all 5 of us barking. So I get that. And I
Thank you.
also really want to say that I appreciate you going out and working with the residents around there. That I wish that was more common, and it speaks a lot, I think. So I just wanted to say I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you saying that. It's been collaborative rather than pushing back. It's made life a lot easier speaking with them, so they've been great to work with, and you guys have really fine residents here, so.
Okay, well, I would like to say, when I was on the council, this project is about a year and a half old?
So it's about 10 months.
Okay, I don't know, seems longer than that,
Yeah,
but.
it feels like it.
I keep telling people here at the city as we've had discussions about this project, like, you and your folks are the developers that we like to work with, because you could have done a different project, created a lot of dissension among residents, and you took the residents' concerns very seriously. You took our concerns as elected officials very seriously. We certainly wish all developers were as conscientious as you guys have been on this
You guys
project.
are giving us too much credit, but I appreciate it. It's very
No,
kind.
we've seen it all. We might not be giving you enough credit, but thank you again. Any other clarifying questions or comments from council? Okay, we have a motion for your consideration.
Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance number 2025-004, authorizing the rezone request for lots located at 58 West, 7500 South, and 7444 South State Street. Did I say that right? From SF1 and SSC to RM25, consistent with the findings included in the staff report.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Rory, will you call the roll?
Yes, Councilmember Billings.
Yes.
Glover.
Aye.
Robinson. Aye. Brown.
yes.
And Mikuláš.
Yes.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Next up on the agenda, similarly, in a similar vein, consider resolution number 2025-R13, authorizing the mayor to sign a development agreement with Stephen Ho and Cooling Lau, is that right? Okay. Hose Investment LLC and the Aaron by Signature LLC for the development of approximately 1.67 acres of land located at 58 West, 7500 South, and 744 South State Street in Midvale, Utah 84047. Elizabeth Arnold, do you have anything else to add for that one? Okay, so just in conjunction with the ordinance that we just passed unanimously, this would just authorize me to sign the development agreement. And we have the motion for your consideration.
Mayor, I move that we approve resolution number 2025-R13, authorizing the mayor to sign a development agreement with Stephen Ho and Colleen Lau Hose Investment LLC and the Aaron by Signature LLC for the development of approximately 1.67 acres of land located at 58 West, 7500 South, and 7444 South State Street.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Rory, will you call the roll?
Yes. Councilmember Glover?
Aye.
Robinson?
Aye.
Brown?
Yes.
Mikulesh?
Yes.
And Billings?
Yes.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Congratulations. Sorry, a year and a half seemed like the right amount of time, but 10 months probably seemed longer for you guys, but we're happy to have the project, so thank you. Moving along, we have consider resolution number 2025-R11, adopting a state tree selection guide for Midvale City.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is a street tree selection guide for the city. Really what brought this about was there are many references in the code to select trees as identified in the street tree selection guide. However, it doesn't exist. So we're hoping to fix that by your approval of this resolution. It will provide that reference for that guide. We worked with MHTN and landscape architects and arborists to come up with this, and then the guide is before you tonight. So it does provide for some general guidelines and best practices. It also identifies recommended species lists for various widths of park strips. So there are, I believe, are 3 classes of park strips, small, medium, and large, and then those are identified, their widths. And then so then there are preferred trees for those that will do well in those growing conditions. And then included are also photos and kind of specifics for mature height and widths of each of those trees. And then at the end of the guide, there's also a list of basically what you'd consider prohibited species or ones that we'd rather not see on sidewalks that create messes, have root systems that lift and buckle. And so now whether it's a homeowner or a developer or someone looking to put in some street trees, we can give them a guide that they can reference rather than, well, it doesn't really exist yet, but this kind of finalizes that. So I can answer any questions. This is just an example, 2 pages of the guide. I realize it's not the clearest, but these are, one is for the small park strips and one is for the large. So you can see those widths identified. So small park strips are anywhere from 3 to 5 feet. Large are 8 and above. And then there are many more than 3 species for each park strip. I just thought I'd throw this in as an example. So
I guess the question I have is, trees continue to develop and there's more and more coming along all the time, different hybrids and different things are happening. How, do we have any mechanism to make it so that if somebody wants a particular tree that they can ask for that tree and see if there's any way they can get it cleared?
yeah, I would imagine yes, because many of them, like you said, are hybrids, and if they're already there, we can look at that list, we can look where they are and say, yeah, that makes sense because it's very, very common to this type. This isn't an ordinance, and so I did this on purpose as a resolution, so this can be more flexible and change as it needs to.
I just want to make sure that, I think it's great. We need to have something so that they know what not to plant.
Yeah.
So we have all the problems. I just want to make sure that there is a way that
For
if
sure.
somebody comes up with a tree that should really work good, that there's a way that we can improve it.
Yep, and I believe so. Yep.
But if they planted one that's not in the guide, there's no enforcement, right?
Yeah, it's not,
It's not like a code, right, where that's.
yeah, it's a reference guide, but yeah, if someone plants one that's not in there, I don't know that there's anything we can do to make them take it out.
Not that we want to tell someone that, but
It's really more of just being proactive at the front end.
On record.
Yeah.
I want to put 10 of the wrong ones in now that I know that. I'm just kidding.
Can we delete that?
Were the trees though based on like durability and water
Yeah,
conservation
durability,
for this area?
all of these species do well in urban environments and in Utah. So it's not just pick everything out, it's what will work for Midvale's, I guess you could say our own microclimate, if you will, and in the constrained spaces, what will do well, grow well, be attractive. And so they looked at all of that, and they looked at, like I said, they're local arborist landscape architects, so they know what works well here in our area.
So if I'm going through the planning and I show my trees, do we require them to say what tree they're putting in there?
The landscape plan that we require does specify the type, the species. So when we look at landscape plans, even today, they will tell us what the species are and the caliber of trees. So we already see that. It's just now they have a list
To be able
of,
to draw?
yeah.
And one point of clarification, so for new development, once this is adopted, there is a requirement that they do have to select if it's in the public right-of-way. If it's on their property, they're welcome to do whatever they would like, but it would give Adam or the planners the ability to say, if it's going to be in one of our park strips, it needs to be from this selection guide.
Correct.
But if me or Councilmember Glover, we could just, not that I'm saying, I think this is actually better than just, for buckling and stuff, because I think people plant trees that don't do well in cities or, or take way too much water and they kill them. So I think that alone is good, but I think, it'd be hard to enforce, because like, when did that get planted or whatever, so.
Yeah, luckily, with all new development, we can see that. And then the ones that are in those park strips, that will be called out on the landscape plan as well.
So, okay.
Any other questions for Adam? Okay, there is a motion for your consideration.
Mayor, I move that we approve resolution number 2025-R11, adopting a street tree selection guide.
Second?
Okay, motion and a second. Rory, will you call the roll?
Yes, Councilmember Robinson.
Aye.
Brown.
Yes.
Mikulesh.
Yes.
Billings.
Yes.
And Glover.
Sounds awesome.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Moving on to our last action item of the evening, consider resolution number 2025-R12, authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement between Midvale City and the redevelopment agency of Midvale City for the design, installation, and maintenance of a mural located on the Gen Pad walls between City Hall 7505 South Holden and the Senior Center 7550 South Main, and approval of mural artist recommendation. And for his final presentation before this body, Cody Hill.
That's sad.
It is.
Thank you
Let's
so much,
ask him a
Mayor.
million questions.
And he has to say.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Council. So yeah, I'm really excited about Mural Festival this year. We've had a goal to hit 50 murals and for Main Street to be this outdoor walking art gallery where you can see beautiful public art from the top of Main Street from north all the way to south to center. And this year we're definitely going to hit that goal. So this just shows a map of all of the existing murals, those little green triangles, and then where we're anticipating having murals go up with the stars. And one location that we've identified that we think would be great would be the Gen Pad. And I asked Keith Ludwig, what do I call that box that's surrounded by bricks walls that has something in it? I don't really know. And he's like, oh, the Gen Pad? And I said, yes. And he's like, yeah, that's a Gen Pad. And Nate was even wanting to know, like, is this really called the Gen Pad? Yeah, it's called the Gen Pad.
It is now.
So the Gen Pad, and that is what we're referring to. So we would like to have a mural on this Gen Pad, the north and the east facing walls. One mural, one artist to cover both of those. The artist that we would recommend would be Eddie Schaefer. And here are some of the samples that Eddie sent us from their portfolio. And what we really liked was that there is a definitive style. Some of the artists sent us a very broad portfolio, different styles, different mediums, different things that they were portraying. And with Eddie, we felt like we know what we're getting when we ask for a rendering. It's going to be nature, and it's going to have this really interesting and unique color theory that really stands out, that we didn't see anything else similar to it from the 238 artists that we had apply, which is pretty amazing that we had so many artists. We had a very, very deep pool to choose from. And there was definitely consensus around Eddie for getting a mural on Main Street. And so that is the recommendation. The wall's dimension, about 14.5 feet by 8 feet on the north facing wall, and then about 20 feet by 8 feet on the east facing wall. And fiscal impact, it wouldn't exceed $7,000. That includes the stipend that the artist would get, their per diem, travel, everything associated with it, lifts. I know you wouldn't really need a lift for this, but ladders possibly. And the rendering would be due by early to mid-April because we have to have it approved and finalized by April 24th. And then installation would occur the very first week of June and be done by the day of Mural Festival, which is June 7th. And so those are the details on that. So if you have any questions, happy to field them.
One question. So on the very first slide, it said we had 44.
Yes.
We're adding 9, and that would be 52. So
one of them is a replacement.
Okay.
So the Wormwood tattoo, that is the mural that's kind of the half face, half skull mural that faces north. That is kind of scary.
Okay.
That people have mixed
The Grim
feelings
Reaper
about.
one.
So that one would be the first replacement that we have. And then going forward, we will look for other murals to replace that, just continually to refresh, develop, build new walls, and also refresh existing murals. But yeah.
We've gone over it before, but like, what's the anticipated lifespan of these murals?
That's a good question. So we in our agreements, we ask that we insist that they stay up for 3 years. And then after the 3-year period, the owner can take it down, or we can come back and propose a new mural, a new agreement, and enter into it. So at least 3 years, possibly longer. For the most part, most of the murals that go up, we do not coat them with anti-graffiti coating, because that makes it very hard to replace it. And so if there is a mural that is just stunning, I would say the south-facing wall of Architecture Belgi's building, the one of the bird crane and the river and the bridge, like that one has that coating, because that one is something we want to stay up for a while. But for the most part, 3 years.
Okay, thank you.
And this will be the 4th year, so we could have gone back and covered over other murals that we did from year 1, but there's only one mural that we're replacing or covering up.
Okay. Any more questions for Cody?
Just, this isn't to do with these murals, but I was driving the other day down from Freeway 7th West, that there, and we've got some great big cement blocks on the south side. I think like someday we ought to put murals up in there.
Yeah, we did have a city-wide public art fund that was kind of a trial, I think about 3 years ago. But that's something that we could look at
I just think, I mean, if we're promoting murals in
Yeah.
Midvale, I mean, there will be more people drive by those murals than any of these murals ever, just because it's continually traffic all day long. And I'm talking, this is up where the homeless shelter is, that north or south wall, they've got great big huge concrete blocks there.
Yeah.
We could have some pretty cool murals there.
I think that's a testament to this mural program now, that now you have city council driving through the city and being like, that would be great for a mural.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I agree.
I just think it's something we ought to put on our radar to look at, and I'm not saying it has to be done anytime soon.
Right.
It might be something that we could look at and probably be really interesting.
Okay.
Cody playing fast and loose with the Wii in this scenario here.
I can guarantee it.
Any
Thanks,
more
Cody.
questions for Cody other than why he's leaving Mid-Bell City for Provo?
Like the worst place in the world, too. I don't get that.
We forgive you. We understand.
Well, thank you so much, and it's been a pleasure. It's been really
a pleasure.
We're gonna at least see you at Mural Fest, right?
Absolutely. My son said, I don't want you to get a new job. I want you to keep working for Midville because I want to go to all the events.
He's such a good kid.
And
How
I
old is
said,
he?
we can still go. We will still go.
How old?
He's in 4th grade.
Oh, okay.
He's 9.
So a few more years he can come work for Mid-Bell
Yeah.
City. Okay. Awesome.
Exactly.
Well, thank you. If there are no more questions for Cody, there is a motion on the screen for your consideration.
I move that we suspend the rules and pass resolution number 2025-R-12, authorizing the adoption of an agreement between Midvale City and the Redevelopment Agency of Midvale City for the design, installation, and maintenance of a mural located on the Gen Pad walls between City Hall, 7505 South Holden, and the Midvale Senior Citizen Center, 7550 South Main, and approval of the mural artist recommendation.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Rory, will you call the yeses and nos?
Yes, Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Mikalash. Yes. Billings,
Yes.
Clever,
Aye.
and Robinson.
Aye.
Okay, that passes unanimously. We are looking forward to yet another mural. We have one discussion item on our agenda tonight, and that will be Glenn Kennedy, Public Works Director, discussion regarding Midvale's biannual bulky curbside waste program. Welcome, Glenn.
Thank you. We get to talk more trash.
Talking trash.
Talking trash. Okay. So my goal tonight is to get guidance on the bulky waste program and leaf bag service options and try to get consistent schedules for the next few years. We've made some changes, and I think it makes it difficult, especially for messaging and with Laura, and confuses the residents. But currently, our service level is one spring event and one fall event. Typically, the fall event has been in October, but last year it was moved to November. City staff, especially Mariah's folks, received quite a few complaints, and they were actually the driver of wanting this switched back. The cost per event for bulky waste is $32,000. ACE charges us $493 per account per event. So annually, about $64,000 plus tipping fees, for reference. So the options that I'm going to provide tonight, and we can come back with others if needed, but status quo, keep bulky in April and November. You're more likely to capture leaf bags with that program, although Adam left. My joke's not going to be as good. The leaves aren't supposed to fall off his trees. Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah. Public Works has had some concerns. Luckily, we didn't have to deal with it. But moving it into November, there's the possible conflict of plowing and with bulky items on the curb. And for reference, I should back up a little bit. ACE has us scheduled currently available weeks, the 3rd and 4th week of October and or the 3rd and 4th week of November. So those are the 2 weeks time slots that we're working with. Residents had concerns I already said that. There will be no change in cost with that option. We can go back to April and October, less likely to be beneficial for the leaf bag program, less likely to have conflicts with snow, no holiday conflicts, and again, no change in cost. Third option would be to have an April and October bulky waste with a November leaf bag pickup. ACE would still charge it as a bulky event because the resources going at it are basically the same. So that would be an additional cost of $32,000. And possible issues would be messaging and enforcement, especially if we were going to try to just make it leaves in November, which could be difficult. And then the last option, and we did this option 2 or 3 years ago, I don't recall, but April and October bulky events, and then we placed leaf dumpsters, one at the main park, one at Adams Street Park, for residents to be able to drop off leaf bags. So it's just a standard regular bulk service. Residents would need to transport their leaf bags to the dumpster locations. Costs are $200 per dumpster haul, and based off the historical numbers, I'm confident that we'll come in less than $1,500. One other thing probably we would need to discuss on this option is when we did it initially, both dumpsters were on the west side. I'm struggling to find an east side public location, but we could do that. So, discussion and guidance. What are your thoughts?
My preference is the last one with 2 pickups and then the dumpster.
Okay.
I think that worked really well, personally.
Yeah, I'm with Councilmember Glover on that.
If we could, but we do need to have something up on the east side.
Right.
So I don't
Maybe-
know if the fire station up there by our little park.
That's a good option.
Well, can you go back to the slide for me?
You bet.
Sorry, I didn't. I thought you were-
It's not, it's kind of east. I also thought maybe contacting the county and using their park.
Or Union Park.
Union Park.
The trouble is, no matter when you set it up for the leaves,
I know.
leaves fall, every tree falls
From
different.
October to January.
And it's like, so you gotta, I mean, you need something in November.
Right. And we could extend the time that they're out there because it's really 200 per pickup. So as long as they're not, being filled up every week, yeah, we could extend the time that they're out there.
I will say that there's a noticeable difference between October and November as far as the leaf situation, right? So, because, what was it last year we did October, or the year before?
The year before. Last year we did November. And
I just remember the earlier
it
one,
helped
it
a
was,
bit, but there were still quite a few trees with leaves.
so, I'm fine, I mean, it's an additional cost, but whatever, but I'm fine with that, but I just don't want to do the middle one.
Okay, so,
So whatever the council is, I just don't
you're
want.
good with the dumpsters, leaf dumpsters, the
Option 4.
Option 4. Well,
Regular bulky services is April and October, right? Okay,
and then
sorry.
dumpsters in November and however long we need them.
Yep, that's fine. I just, we need something for that, like he was saying, because it was, I don't know, one year it just seemed really early and everyone was mad at me.
And I'd like to see really, and I know this isn't yours, I'm just kind of saying it out loud so everybody hears it, but really aggressive messaging on this.
Right.
So that there is no confusion why the dumpsters are there and we don't end up with.
Right, and we strategically place them so they're not, right. Okay.
It seems like
I was just saying, yeah.
We have a consensus?
I was going to say, is this something you'd want to put on the consent agenda, or should we
I
discuss?
don't think we
again?
necessarily need an approval for this, Garrett.
Okay. This is just guidance.
Yeah, this is just changing some dates. Who
In
said
West
that?
Valley, they'll put them just in the neighborhood.
Right, I live in West Valley and
Do you hate that?
I have participated in that program. The way their program works, I want to say they open up reservations in February. You have to be on it very quickly. The person that requests is required to pass out 100 flyers through the neighborhood, and then they blitz the neighborhood. The one issue I had, but I didn't think too much about it, is whoever calls in is liable for anything that's overfilled or.
Well, I just.
They didn't really
I just
enforce
meant
it, but.
They have it on the road, so if
Right.
you need something on the east side, if we couldn't find something, you could
A
put
public street somewhere.
on a public street somewhere that's in the middle of a neighborhood, so it's less likely for, people to start, I'm
Right.
not saying that's the best option, but it could
Right,
work.
enforcement would be an issue. It would be filled up by the neighbors with,
Couches.
I guess that's gonna happen either way.
right. But, yeah, that's an option if we need it.
I think this is a better plan than what we currently have in place. So it's one of those things, we try it, and
Can I get a soft confirmation that we can run this for a few years, especially for Laura and consistent messaging?
I'm good with it.
Yeah, me too.
Unless it like fails miserably or something.
Right, yeah, exactly.
That's why I said soft. Which you definitely, we've had, this is the best idea we've ever had, and then like a week later, let's never do that again.
Thank you, Glenn. Okay, that is it for the discussion items. We do have a closed session tonight, and that will be to discuss, strategy session to discuss the purchase, exchange, or lease of real property. So at this point, we will ask if you're not part of that discussion to leave the room as kindly as possible.
Can we take like a few minute break too?
Anyone have, good with that? Okay, let's do 5. Okay, we will re-adjourn at,
And then you'll vote to go into closed once we're
Yeah.
done the break.
so we'll reconvene at 8:15. Per council member Brown. And his wishes. Oh, hi, good to see you. Yes, oh, that's okay. I sound like I've swallowed a frog because I'm getting over whatever everyone else is. Yeah, no. Not the plot, so it's the lighting by Cactus and Trump. So on the south end of Main Street, well, Main Street in general, it's gonna be the lighting that goes from one side of the street to the other. We're turning those on 6 p.m. Yep. Yeah, that's a good order. Okay, see ya, thanks.
Video and stuff is still on because we haven't adjourned. We're going into closed session, so
Okay.
the stream is continuing to.
Okay, well, Councilmember Brown is absent. We do have a quorum here, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Sorry, I'm not saying you have to do that.
Well, we
not
can.
adjourned.
Okay. Well, let's sit here silently.
Sorry, what we said is that we went into a break, and I'm just pointing out that the stream is continuing to run while people are taking a break.
Send you the link, so you have it forever. I'm surprised. You know, it's funny, I was thinking, like, all the way back to
I can do that.
I've already filled out my book.
So that's why I was trying to ask.
So, does this start recording the?
Who's your team? Okay.
And then,
What they don't make it, that makes it a little better.
I've got Alex Jensen now, though, right? He's gonna come.
The stream is still going. It would be awesome to have it well.
So, we're gonna have to have it.
Best to SEC and be able to say, and pretty much all our conference and internal stuff.
Okay, so you're gonna say it. Okay. I thought you were telling me what to do. Okay.
He's telling us how to stop.
Yes, I get that. I just thought. Yeah. It's all good. I get that part. I just didn't know how to do the live and then go back to
Trout. Get to come back and play.
And I can do the rest of it.
Our starting date picture had an ERA of 5 for all public last week. So this season,
We're in a little slump, I'm gonna say. Yes. Yes. We got Trout, it was all this high hope, and then Kentucky. It was just like, we could feel it, and it just didn't pan out. Yep, they did.
So I mean, this goes through, and that's a cool area. There's one campsite about there.
So my wife told me that I was supposed to dress for a 1 year when I turned 40. But let me tell you, 40 is nothing.
Yeah, I. It doesn't go through, it just goes all the way up. Although, make it much fun. It's because it snowed.
I went to license painting, but the trouble is, the one eye is closed up and the one eye is west. So I can drive without glasses.
That's where I have my little mutes. I can just go ahead and
Just wear readers.
send that with it, yeah.
I
don't think I did, but I should.
wore glasses all my life. There's still time, we've got. I didn't have contacts for a while, but they were first when I got them, they were right.
I thought they were like the same schedule as the men's now.
Well, I'm wondering if those are planes,
Oh, you're right, they play Friday.
at least for. You might be more worried. For the transition, right? There seems to be more different.
Oh, yeah, they play Friday, sorry. Yes.
Okay, we will reconvene, and again, we will, we have a closed session. I will entertain a motion to enter the closed session.
Mayor, I motion we enter closed session.
Second?
Can you say why? Oh, we have to say why.
It's letter C on the agenda.
Yes. Let's see, do I have to start all the way over? I move we enter closed session for a discussion regarding, C, strategy session to discuss the purchase, exchange, or lease of real property. Thank you. Sorry.
Second.
We have a motion, I think, and a second. Rory, will you call the roll?
Yes. Councilmember Glover.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Billings.
Yes.
Micolash.
Yes.
And Brown.
Yes.
Okay, that's unanimous. We are in closed session, and leading us in the closed session